All right, yo, TTO, what's going on? I see you guys chatting in the Hangout. That's awesome. Nice to see you guys. Where we do this every Tuesday night at 9:30. I have Wesley Anderson with me, cool guy right now. I just want Wesley to kind of wave it out because he's got his. Oh wait, hold on. There you go. Wes has got his TTO gear on. He's got his Jeanette shirt on. It's so awesome. Yeah, buddy. So he's totally ready to hang out with you guys. We do this every Tuesday night at 9:30. You can listen to our tip of the day calls Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also do an opportunity hangout on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we have our Millionaire Mindset at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I just want to give a shout out to all the people inside of Hanging with TTO, chatting it up in the chat box. So shout out who you are, where you guys are from. I see G in there, Diane's in there, Janine's in there. They're all waiting to hear from you, Wes, and I'm just kind of keeping you in the corner right there. Claudia's in here. Felly, hey, how you doing? Gil is in here. Yo, Mike. Marcy, I see Marcy. Hey, Marcy. Carol, Brenda, Dolores. Yo, what's going on, everybody? You got to shoot the yo out. This is Hanging with TTO, where we say yo all the time. So good time. So Wes is here. He's going to chat with us about expanding your network, which is really important, you guys. You know, we all want to expand our network, make new friends. We should be making a couple of friends each day on no matter what social media or whatever platform that, you know, you like the best. So I just want to take a second and we're going to find out a little bit about Wes. Wes, kind of introduce yourself. Tell us about how you got into network marketing, stuff like that.
All right. Well, I can't see any chat, so if there's any questions, you'll let me know. I take it. Am I supposed to be able to?
Of course. I got you.
Right on, right on. So, well, thanks. Yo. Thanks for having me on, and I'm excited to be here. And let's see, how did I get started with network marketing? That would be too long. That would make this way too long. But I was a very skeptical person. By the age of 25, I'd had 25 different jobs. You know, I'd waited tables, I drove a linen truck, I was a paralegal. I actually went back to college to try to get my master's. And I'm not a smart person, I'm not book smart. But I ended up getting into school and kind of worked at trying to find that better life. And eventually kind of realized that, you know, I wasn't book smart, I wasn't able to climb the corporate ladder. That better life just wasn't going to be for me. Not that I was going to live a mediocre life. Not that I was a mediocre person, but that I was kind of just going to live a mediocre life. And fast forward a little bit longer, I was actually playing softball like we were talking about earlier. And a friend of mine introduced me to this profession. And you know, he drove a Viper. He gave a ton of money to his church and charity, did all this cool stuff. But it was so funny because I was so close-minded. When he approached me about it, I was like, dude, you're crazy. Get that pyramid crap out of my face. And you know, it's just so funny how small-minded we can be because that's just kind of how we were programmed. And I had not been introduced to personal development, you know, that kind of thing. So he was a good enough friend and a softball buddy that he was able to kind of punch me in the neck and just kind of say, so, wow. Yo. So he was able to punch me and he said, go, stop, you're killing me. So he said, Wes, do you want what I have in terms of a life? And, you know, and typically I would have said, you know, get away from me with that garbage. But you know what? I was at a point in my life where, you know, he drove an awesome car. And I also knew that he gave a bunch to his church and charity. He was a good guy. And he lived an awesome life. And I was like, you know, I was going through all this other stuff. And I was finally like, you know what? Yeah, I do. And he was like, then shut up and listen. And fast forward, and it took me a while. It took me a long time to learn personal development, grow, and, you know, and understand the profession. But about 2 years later, I was able to walk away from the working world. And there's been my ups and downs for sure. We're entrepreneurs. It happens. There's been the ups and downs, and I've learned a lot. But I'm so grateful because this profession allowed someone that thought they were going to live a mediocre life, never left the United States. I'd never had more than $1,000 in my bank account. I'd never spoken on stage. It allowed someone who wasn't going to make it in the corporate world, who wasn't going to live that life, to be able to learn and study and train and practice and become relevant and become a person that doesn't live a mediocre life. So that's kind of the story real quick.
That's awesome. So you kind of were mentioning you've been in and out of some other jobs. You came into network marketing. It took you 2 years, but how long would you say that it took you to actually, like we accept it, but when did you fall in love with it? Was it like 2 months later, 3 months? Do you know what I'm saying?
I do, and it's, you know what? I don't know. It kind of just happened as I went. One of the things that I got really lucky when I came in, because the company I was with, my sponsor, my buddy, his name is Randy Gage. And if you guys don't know who he is, go to randygage.com. He's a prosperity speaker, and he's just the master of that kind of stuff. So he's really good. And his sponsor was Eric Worre. All right. And this was back when Eric was involved. And so I didn't like the profession, blah, 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 but I still was there and watching, and, and I didn't realize how lucky I had it at the time. But I learned to mimic them, and I learned to do things. Like Eric told me at the very beginning, the man with the marker makes the money, Wes. He was like, memorize my presentation, and eventually you'll get it. And so I kind of just learned the steps and just went. And then it was probably 9 months, even after I started to have some success, when one day it was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. I know what I'm doing a little bit. But it was after kind of just learning the system and learning, just following what successful people told me to do, and just accepting that they knew what they were doing because they had more money than me.
Right on. You kind of remind me of that person, especially who first comes in the industry, right, Wes, who saw what was happening, but you didn't take your inexperience to heart. You went after it. You're an action taker, right? And what didn't matter, what you didn't know or did know, you were getting your jersey dirty, as we say. So, absolutely. Yeah, taking action. You guys, we can watch these hangouts. You can listen to Wes, Michael Newkirk. You can listen to a whole bunch of people sit here and talk. But what's great about it is you can either listen to them and do nothing. But we have people like Wes, who's been in this industry for a while, who has a lot to teach us, a lot of experience. But what we must do is take the actions that he's taken. You see, he said he went and got his jersey dirty, getting the marker in his hand. Not saying that he knew exactly how to give a presentation, but he still went and did it, still going and doing the actions that it takes. Right, Wes? You got to get it right.
Absolutely. It is. I did learn early on is that you're going to fall down. You're going to fall down. You're going to fall down. And you just got to keep getting up and going. And, there's enough resources and support, especially with TTO, with what we have here. Just surround yourself with that, and go fall on your face and fall on your face and fall on your face. These people that are successful, Cedric, Jason Bournet, these guys that are saying that, they fell on their face more than us. You know what I mean? That's why they are where they are. And that's why I said I love this profession so much, because it allows someone that I don't know what I'm good at all. I don't think I'm good at anything in this world except falling on my face. And if I do that enough, I can make a lot of money here.
Right on. Right on. That's awesome. So, you were talking about following that system and taking the steps that they take. We have a system in place and teaching people to start out in the marketing system, that sign up new. We talked to Michael Newkirk about, his system for getting customers. So, as I've learned, systems duplicate. People know how important is it for people that come in here to start at that pin post to start getting involved in the system.
It's super important. And that's something I took for granted after my first rodeo with that company. Eric and Randy had set up a great system. So I was just able to tap people in, and I was still inexperienced. I had some success, but I knew I could just tap them in. So when that company kind of fell to the side, I went off and did my own thing, and I could recruit. And I realized that I recruited more people in my second gig than my first, and had no success because I didn't have a system in place, and I didn't want to create a system. So when I got here to TTO, I was like, holy cow, people don't realize how amazing this is, because you don't have to create it. Creating a system is so hard. Duplication is so hard without a system, and that's what we have. And I love, like when Ced shot the 9 videos series recently, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the answer. It's so awesome. So yeah, I'm a huge system believer.
Yeah, me too. I see people, if you go on your timeline or any form of social media, feels like people are just reaching, throwing straws out there. And we have something to plug people into and something to, make sure that people are following. We should never take that for granted. So that's huge, you guys. Make sure everybody's staying plugged into that system. So Wes, you talked about how hold on. You talked about how that first person that came up to you, you were a part of his network. You know, whether it be softball, like we have people in our networks everywhere. A lot of times here, you know, I see people limit themselves to Facebook or to the platform that they like. But we all do certain things that we get out and talk to people. You know, Wes has softball, you know, he's running and he does a whole bunch of things and activities where he's getting in front of people. Unless you just never leave the house. I mean, people's kids are in school. You see people every day, and it's about expanding that network. What would have happened? I mean, Wes was just telling us he's kind of a closed-minded guy, especially in the beginning. What would have happened if that guy never said anything to Wes? We would never be sitting here right now talking to him, asking him his opinions and have his experience to talk about. And you know, we would not be happy with that. I would not be happy with that. I feel lucky that we have the opportunity to talk to Wes. So I want to talk to you guys about expanding your market or expanding your network of people and tapping into the network of people that you actually know, even if it's from a sport or anything that you do. So Wes, you know, what are some of the things that you do to talk to your actual network and then go around and expand the network that you have?
I think you hit it perfectly too, and I've taught that for a long time. Is, you know, a lot of people they'll go to networking events, okay, and I'm not someone that can do that. Let me rephrase. I can do that, but it's not something I like to do, because for me, I feel like everybody is at a networking event to network for themselves, and so there's a lot of closed-minded. However, some people are amazing at that. So if you're good at that, you should do it. But for me, it's finding something where I have a commonality. Okay, so I love softball. So I can go out and I'm not out to get people. I can talk about softball with them, and eventually business can come up. All right. I like, you know, like we were talking about previously, I want to do some triathlon. So I'll join a couple of different triathlon clubs. If you like music, all right, join a music club. Find stuff I always tell people, find stuff that you like to do, so you're not weird. You're not, you're not odd out to get people, right? Because you're out there talking, and then it's a natural progression. All right, I'm odd and I'm weird, so I mean, you know what I mean? But you find something that's a commonality, and then you keep doing it. But here's the thing, and I got stuck in doing this, and I have my softball team that I prefer to play with, but I'll also switch. I have that's my long-term team. But when I move to a new city, I'll play 1 or 2 nights a week, all right? And then what I'll do is after that season's over, I'll join another team, all right? I'm making sure that I'm exposing myself to a new group of people, all right, that I can create more, expanding my list. There's a running club over at I'm going to go for a few runs. I don't have to join everything. And this is all free. That's what's cool. All this stuff is free. You go for a run on Thursday night. Go on Google, look at the meetups. And if you like to run, you become friends. You're expanding your network constantly.
Exactly. You know, if I kind of have the same characteristics. Like I like to play softball. I like to run. I talk to people, and you know, where you feel like people eventually kind of ask you. It's like the kind of question that always comes up. What do you do? It's not that you're going to struggle and tell everybody and kind of throw up on them what you do, but getting involved with people you can actually have a conversation with because you understand those people, so you're not the odd man out.
Absolutely.
I want to be a little odd. But you could talk to those people. I would suggest, you know, we do that on social media, Wes. Don't you find this? A lot of networkers join networking groups. They're like there's all these like direct sales. I know because I made this mistake when I first started. I would join like direct sales swap, direct sales moms who know people who like other moms. It's like any kind of those groups, but they were all kind of in it for the same thing, all trying to, you know, promote what they had. But when I started to talk to people who, you know, or join groups that had commonalities with me, just like in real life, the conversation became seamless.
Absolutely.
Became endless. And not something that we could do to expand our network. Go and add a few people from those groups that you know, have a common trait with or something like that. You're adding those people on your phone, you're texting, you're going out for a drink, you're doing whatever you do, but eventually it comes up, what do you do for a living? Right on, Wes?
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with everything you just said.
Ta-da! Right on. So, you know, I try, like for me, I started this a little over a year ago, whatever it was, and I had like 285 Facebook friends. Like, I was like, what am I going to do? One of the things that helped me that I would, suggest that you guys do is like 2 or 3 people a day. I would find people in, Eric Worre GoPro or those kind of professional groups that I would want to talk to about networking that weren't necessarily in a network marketing company, but business, entrepreneurs, things like that I had that common trait with. But then I would also talk about to moms who had toddlers or moms who had so I was getting a network of different people that I had common strengths with. And then when I went and posted on my Facebook wall about my kid, those people liked it. When I go and post something about systems duplicating my business, people like it. But my people who have seen my kids are now seeing the post about duplication of systems and saying, what do you do? What was that again? So there's a way to keep adding people, but not the people who have already closed their mind off to another opportunity, because we don't want to close our minds to opportunity. I'm going to just go to Wes so he can say right on.
Well, and I agree. Like, I have all walks of life. If I'm looking to add, and I totally agree. I try to add 2 people a day to my social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or whatever it is, so I don't go to Facebook jail, but I try to add at least 2 every single day, and I'm the same way. I have a kind of I don't know, algorithm or system on how I run my Facebook feed. Whereas you can tell I know what you're going to post, not what you're going to post, but you have your kids post, you have the fun, you have your teaching, you have business, you have your video, and so it's cool because you're adding value, but you're also still very human. And so for me, it's I'll do a softball, I'll do fitness. I'll do maybe a gymnastics thing here and there. I try to do a video. I do my dogs. My dogs are my kids. So there's a commonality for people. So they're not, so I might add someone that's in sales or even another networking, group, but I won't hit them about what we have, but they're eventually going to see something. And it's a likability factor. They go, oh, okay, that's cool. Oh, wow. So all of a sudden they click like on your dog pics or your value video that you did. And then five days later, you post a picture of instantly ageless, and all of a sudden they're not going, oh, that's all he posts. They're going, oh, that's kind of cool. What is that? So you've created a little bit of a relationship already, and you've got people asking for what you do or asking for more information. So I totally agree. I think my video the other day I was talking about. Your network is your net worth. That's a reality. We know that. And if you're not, there's no reason we can't be adding 2 people every single day. And as you go, you'll start to filter out the ones that are turkeys. You know what I mean? You'll say, oh, I have no need for this in my life. I delete. I don't need that in my life. And so you kind of create, and the more that you do personal development, the more that you're learning and adding value, all of a sudden you go from nobody, with 100 people in your Facebook group to 5,000, and you're this value monster to everybody. And it's just amazing what can happen.
Exactly. It is amazing what can happen. I'm quite the Facebook stalker of people. I like to see how people run it. I always follow the people who have been in the industry for a while to see how they run that Facebook thing. Because I didn't even know how to share something when we first started with gymnastics. I was like, how do I share? How do I tag? So what is this tagging that people are doing? I was so like anti-social media, all this like private kind of person. Like, I don't want to be on social media. I'm cool. Like, seriously, I had that going on for me. So it was something that I really needed to learn. So I watched people like that. One of the things that I pick up on is exactly what Wes says. He, you go around, check out his Facebook wall. He kind of appeals to different people, but he also shoots those videos that we talk about. He usually does like 2 a week, right, Wes? He usually do about 2. See? Usually does about 2 a week. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I like about Wes's video is I know how he's going to start, and it grabs your attention. Like if you're looking, you're laughing at me. But he kind of grabs your attention, right? He does like, yo, like, and he comes back and talks to you, Wait, do you say yo, or is that me just saying yo in your voice? That's what I want you to say.
Interpretation. Which is good, because it's good. That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be.
That's my interpretation of Wes. Yo, he's probably saying yo. I say yo, but as you see, it related to me because you know, I thought that was kind of catchy. But we all have things that we do, and he's still adding value to the market. But what I like is it's not constantly Janess, it's not constantly TTO, and he's not constantly talking about Janess or the products in every single video, but he's adding value. So you never know. Isn't it crazy that you never know who's watching? You have no idea who's watching, how long they're going to watch, and what they're going to do. So that's the importance of video. Expands your network, whether you know it or not, right?
Absolutely. And it's funny to hit on that topic. You'll get your persistence is so awesome because it makes me go, dang it, she's kicking butt and she's being consistent, and it's such an awesome reminder. So I really appreciate everything that you do because it motivates the heck out of me. You know what I mean? And so, because I see what you're doing, you're freaking writing books now, dude. That's awesome. I mean, and it's because your consistency and learning and adding value. And it is funny because until it kind of happens to you, you don't believe it. Until you have that you've been shooting videos for 4, 5, 6 months, and then all of a sudden someone out of the blue that's never clicked like on your video, never commented, goes, I've watched send you a private message saying, hey, I've watched every single one of your videos. I think I'm going to do this Janess business. And you're like, what? Who are you? Oh my gosh. You're like, and it happens. And until it happens to you, you don't believe it's going to happen. So that's why, and you and I both know, and Cedric talks about it, one person can change your whole business and life forever. So I have it written down, one person. So when you don't do that video, you never know that one extra view could make you a multi-millionaire, and that's just from being consistent and spreading good value in your videos.
Yeah, I like how it's so true. It's so funny when he says you have no idea who's watching or who's going to come up to you and say, I've watched every single one of your videos for 6 months or 7 months. But I think everybody thinks, you know, like the consistency of shooting a video or deciding to post or dedicating yourself, like, you know, I don't go 3 or 4 days without posting on Facebook or a post here and then not post, or, you know, don't do this for 2 or 3 days. You see, people say to me all the time, how did you get started in videos? Oh, your videos get so many likes. No, that's 450 videos on Facebook, 250 something videos on YouTube. How many videos? People are only starting to see them now. Imagine, you can't happen. Nothing happens overnight. You just noticed it now. So the consistency really does pay off. You know, we do the 30-day video challenge, and I watch people go and fall off. It shouldn't be 30 days. It needs to be 60 days, 90 days. Every 30 days, you do another 30-day video challenge. And I'm not saying that you have to do one every single day for 30 days. The first challenge is every single day so that you get in the habit of doing it, so that you can have a post like Wes has on there. One person can change your life, and dedicate to doing that 1 or 2 really strong, valued video. What I like about Wes's videos is the structure. Watch. It's funny what people pick up, but I watch the structure of Wes's video. So he introduces himself. He has like his kind of tagline thing, the yo that I think he says yo, but he doesn't. He has like his kind of tagline thing. He tells you what he's going to talk to you about, right? Mm-hmm. Then he tells you, and then he tells you what he told you, and then he gives you a call to action. Mm-hmm. Every single time he has this same kind of pattern. If you watch the pattern of Wes's videos, and that comes with experience and confidence, and then, you know, I'm sure that we all don't shoot that kind. Please, some of my videos I'm just straight dancing because I didn't know what to do, but I was still staying consistent shooting the video. Lord knows, you guys know me. I just would post anything to stay consistent. But what I like, and something that you can learn from Wes's video, is that structure that he has. Wes, tell me, is that the structure that you kind of follow?
It is, and I know that, and it is. That's absolutely my structure, and it's because it works for me. I can shoot from the hip, and I do sometimes, but for the most part, I actually need to outline my videos. Now, I don't ever write them all down because you're never going to go with what you say. But I have, like, for me, I do my intro, then I want to outline it exactly. I want to give you a quick, tiny summary, and then I'm going to do my 3 to 5 bullet points. Then I'm going to sum it up and call to action. And that works for me. And not everybody needs to outline, but it's just I need to do that. Now, there are times when I shoot from the hip. There's times when videos are great. There are times when I'm like, that was absolutely awful. I'm still going to post it to be consistent. But you learn. It's only from learning. And it's funny, the only way I got started is I did a 45-day video challenge And that's the only way that I got consistent. And then I stopped for a little while and I fell off the wagon. And I was like, no, I've got to get back to going. So for me, it's 2 a day, but I anticipate I'll probably do another 30-day video challenge to make sure to refresh. But, you know, and I'm always asking, that's the cool thing about TTO. All right, we've got some of the best marketers in the world. I promise you that. So you've got Coco. She's got the experience of doing consistent, and she's happy to answer a question. You know, I'm happy to answer a question. Seth is awesome at answering questions. I called him up and I was like, look, some of the videos that I think are the best don't get enough views, don't get any views. And so we talked about it, and he was like, brother, you gotta shorten your videos. They're too long. And it's like, he was like, sometimes people aren't getting to the meat because it's in your 5th and 6th minute. So I still have I still have to work on making it shorter. But the good thing is I'm asking and learning and going and falling on my face. And I learned my structure and what works for me and what works. And so whatever works for you, that's totally fine. But keep going and asking questions because eventually I just know it for a fact that eventually you get that Chewbacca viral video, you know, the Chewbacca mama. And can you imagine if that lady was in an MLM? Oh my gosh, she would have gone crown quadruple diamond intergalactic spaceship diamond in a day. So, anyway.
It's so true. It's so true. You know, so I have to talk about kind of what Wes said and kind of follow up with what he was saying. You know, I have videos that I think are going to do fantastic. Videos that sometimes I can predict what kind of thing or what kind of attitude I can have to get a better video, but that comes with experience of shooting so many videos. You kind of get in tune with what works for your audience, what they expect from you, what you're there for. Are you there for motivation? Are you there for education? What kind of attitude you have to have when you educate? All of that stuff, that's really you. But your audience kind of grabs a hold on if you could talk long or talk not, or, you know, you have to keep it short, what works, 10 seconds not. All that stuff is a learning experience. All that stuff is a learning experience, right? So, you know, you shouldn't be so concerned with, I have this many views.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
I have this many, because then we don't post, or then we get scared, because it's happened to me. I would say, people know me as the video person. If I only get 87 views on this, people aren't going to think anything. And now I'm just like, you know what? I don't care. I had something to say. I don't care if 87 people watched it or 3,000 people watched it. The point is I had something to say and I got to get it out. And if I don't do it, then I become, then I have some kind of an ego where I think that I have to have 5,000 views to get a video out there. He said it takes one person. One. So whether you have 3,000 views, you can have 3,000 of the wrong people watching, or you can have one person watch that video that had 87 views.
Absolutely.
So in reality, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if you got 87 or 3,000. What matters is that one person saw that video. You're going to have 300,000 views, but did the one person that was going to join you see it? Did that one person who's been following you for 6 months see that video? That, you know, that's important. Right on, Wes?
It absolutely is. And then even another point to add to that, and because it messes with your head, you're thinking, I need to get this many likes, and it's like, and you go, golly, I didn't. And it's like, but you're exactly right. You keep going. And the importance of that, the way that I've kind of justified it for myself, when I don't get when I don't receive, when it's not received as well as I thought it would, is I'm building my video library. Yeah. All right. And who knows where 2 years from now, someone, maybe I did go viral. Maybe I've gotten bigger and bigger and I have a bigger following. And all of a sudden people go back to my video library and they go, holy cow, this is really good as well. And then, it's there and the content is seen by the right people. So you never know when someone's going to come back around and watch it, It's
so true. I have people that say sometimes out of the blue, something from 6 or 7 months ago will get a like by somebody I have no idea. I'm like, what? How did that pop into my newsfeed? How did I get an alert on that video? I shot it 6 months ago. But people do check your video library. They do. I can promise you that people will go on and check your video library. And then they'll go and see what kind of videos you have elsewhere. And they'll, they want to see what kind of content you're putting out. So it is good. He's exactly right. It is good to keep posting videos day after day after day. That video library means something, and people want to watch you grow. They want to see where you've come from and how far you've gone, and if they can do it too. There's nothing like saying, you don't, you don't think that there's growth in network marketing, you don't think there's growth in video, go watch my first video. Go watch my second, my 10th, my 100th, and then come and watch me today. Because I don't look like the same person that's on video at all. But you can have the same growth as I do if you just stay consistent. Yeah. I have to kind of give a one quick thing that I learned from doing Facebook Live and Facebook videos. Something that I think can help you guys out. If you guys are ready for it, shoot me a yo. We're going to go back to Wes for a second, but I have something big that can kind of help you guys out with learning or messing with your algorithm and things like that. If you want to get people seeing more of your videos, even if they're live or not. You guys interested in that info? This is something I kind of fell upon. So, Wes, you ready?
I am.
You ready for this?
Hold on, I'm getting my notes out, Coco.
Hold on a second. All right, you guys. So here's one of the things that I know. When I shoot a video that I'm just going to go and straight up post, I try and keep them at 2 minutes or something like that. I tell them what I'm going to say. I kind of have that same structure as Wes. I'm not the same structure as Wes, but I do my own kind of structural thing. And I cut the camera and that's it. I usually say, yo, what's up, blah, blah, blah. I cut the camera, get straight to the point, and I'm out. I find people do that on Facebook Live. If you want your algorithm to jump, okay, if you want more exposure on Facebook for your videos, your news feed, and for your regular videos, if you have Facebook Live, one of the greatest things that you can do is, it's not like Periscope where you're working for hearts. You're working for comments. On Facebook Live, you work for comments. Ask people who they are. Like I tell everybody when they get on, yo, shoot me a yo. People know me for that. I want to see people say yo. It gets me all fired up. I ask them where they're from. I make sure I say hi to everybody. Say hi back. Say hi to this person. Have you seen this person? Blah, blah. Before I even get to it, I'm keeping the people engaged by talking to them or sending their name out, right? Then when I start to talk, I ask people, like, I'm just going to use the Instagram video, for example. I say, do you have Instagram? Do you have this? Do you guys have that? I wait for them to comment. I kind of slow it down. I wait for them to comment. I honestly shoot for at least 150. I don't want to hang up. It's called hang up. I think it says hang up. I don't want to hang up until I get 150 comments. Something about the 150 comments that puts you a little above the edge rank on Facebook and that algorithm. That shit is, I said that word. That stuff is gold right there. Try and get your people to give you 150 comments or more, and you'll find yourself in more people's news feeds. I promise you, you'll find yourself in more people's news feeds. No matter how long you got to go or what you got to do, if you want Facebook Live to work for you, if you want more exposure, push. Get your people involved. Give them value. And what I do is start with the tiniest bit of value, and I start to raise the value, and I keep them engaged. And one of the things that I do is I don't ask them what business they are. I don't say what business I'm in. I say, tell me a product that you're interested in getting out there. I can help you. And they're all shooting in. What kind? I have Pamper Chef. I have this. I have mascara. I have this. I'm making them comment, right? and I say, well, if I had mascara, I would say this. And that girl that said that to me said, you seem like you would know a lot. Why don't you do that? And I got to talk to her about my business and create content off the screen with her. I got to have a conversation with her because she started wondering, well, wow, if you can do this, why aren't you, in the same business as I am? Or you seem like that leadership or that quality that people want, that you have the knowledge that they want. You guys with me? The more people that you can get to engage on that Facebook Live is going to shoot up and get in your news feed, your Facebook Live videos, but your not Facebook Live videos, your posts, everything. Usually about 25 or so of the same people see, you'll start to see yourself end up in other people's news feeds. Shoot for 150 comments. Make it a goal. If you are doing Facebook Live, do me a favor, make it a goal. 150 comments. The 150 comments will change your life. Every single Facebook Live. Shoot for 150 comments. You guys got that? Got it? Have I pushed that enough for you guys?
Dude, that's awesome.
Thank you. I had to add that there because I think that's, guys, you want to expand your network? You want more people to see you? It's a magic number.
And I'm guilty because I haven't gone live. So I need to start going live. And so I think that's fantastic. And it's amazing. It's all about exposure and getting out into further and further and further. For me, with videos, and some people will comment and say something to me. So let's say I get 10 comments on a video, okay? And one of the biggest mistakes that people make, it's not a mistake, it's just different, is they'll go and say thank you and respond to every single comment immediately. And that's great, that's gracious, but you hit that wall again. So what I'll do is I'll respond to one comment, and then an hour or two later, I'm gonna go respond to the second comment because it throws it back out on my wall and their wall as well. So you're gonna get a few more views. Now, if you know that you need to say something to them, because being gracious, you don't wanna wait 3 to 5 days, you should shoot them a PM. Say, hey, just wanted to say thank you for your comment, and then comment later. So you don't wanna be a turkey about that, but you're absolutely right. There are ways to get more exposure and more comments.
For sure, waiting is definitely a key. I try not to go and thank everybody right away, or I'll say thank you to everybody, or all of that stuff. That's huge. You don't want to go and thank everybody. You want that to jump out in a news feed over and over again. Even if you wait 15 minutes, wait 20 minutes if you got hundreds of comments and say thank you, because then you're popping it back out into the news feed again. That value, bringing up the value when you do the Facebook Live is not the same as shooting a regular video. You want to say what you got to say and throw the value real high, like real high to get everybody's attention, and then drop it off. I have this drawing in a journal or whatever, so that's just how I see things. So when I do my Facebook video, it kind of looks like this. I introduce myself, I shoot the content here, and then I drop, and I'm out. I quick close. Thank you guys, bye. Cheryl Coco, out, like that. But when I do Facebook Live, I say hi to everybody, right? I tell them what I'm gonna say, I introduce them, I tell them that this is coming, I'm gonna get into this, I'm gonna get into that, tell me more, tell me more, tell me. I laugh, I joke, I stay entertaining, I keep building, and it kind of looks like this, and I kind of bring it down. And then I go away. The map out of it, does that make sense? The map out of it, of Facebook Live, to me, I guess because I see things like that, like I have to see it, so I drew it out. I do this kind of thing with Facebook Live where a regular video, it looks different to me. Wes, am I totally nerding out right now?
No, that's fantastic. I love the analogy. No, that's perfect.
Yeah, so do what Wes says, go back and say hello. Think about that. I don't know if people are visual people, but think about that mapping out kind of thing so that you can get more views if you're shooting video, and you're gonna expand that network of people as well, because that's gonna help you guys out. One of the things that I do to add value, and I know that Wes does, he kind of talks about some of the personal development that he's done, some of the things that, one of the things that he said in the very beginning of this, if you guys were with us in the very beginning, is he said he never realized personal development, and it kind of opened his mind to other opportunities and different ways of living and all kinds of things that he could bring to the marketplace and that value. If you watch some of Wes's video, he has really strong value content from being inside of this industry, right? And people look for value, they look for that leadership. And one of the ways that we get it is through personal development, it's through reading and things like that. Right on, Wes? Absolutely, absolutely. And it really, when I've been around for 10 years, and when people talk about what's the secret to success, or what's the one quality or one thing that you can give someone or teach them in this profession that'll allow them to succeed. And obviously success is completely based on the individual. It's up to them. But, and I've studied, you can look at Grant Cardone, you can say, is it sales closing technique? Is it how to do a proper three-way, how to present? And you can look at all those, and every single one of those are important. But if someone's lid isn't high enough to accept that or be ready for that, it doesn't matter. Like if they have not learned that this is possible, if they haven't developed their minds, then you can teach all you want. It doesn't matter. They're not ready for it. And I learned that very early on. If there was one thing I could give to someone, it would be, GoPro or an Eric Worre book or something that can allow them to develop themselves and eventually take over for themselves and take off. As opposed to, I could teach the new person how to close. They're not ready for it. That doesn't matter.
And so it really is, personal development is such a big deal. And it's such a big deal to me because I was such a skeptic and negative person when I got started in this profession. Such a big negative. It was unbelievable. And now I don't even understand that stuff. You know, I mean, I'm human for sure, but it really does. And studying it, it puts your mind, you know, you can actually believe some of the big goals. You know, the more you develop your mind. Oh, you still there, Cheryl?
Yeah, I was talking to my dog, who,
oh, okay.
if people know me, my dog likes to harass me.
Mine are, like, if you haven't seen my hands, I've been trying to keep mine away. They're having like a doggy rodeo right now. I'm like, are you serious?
Right? When dogs attack, hanging with TTO.
Exactly.
Right on. So, Wes, what are, you have GoPro, some of the things that you kind of recommend for personal development. I love it was probably like the first book I read when I called my upline, started firing people. I was doing everything up in there. I was crazy up in that book, reading it over and over, taking everything literal and doing it. So GoPro is definitely one of my favorites. What are some of your 10 years in this industry? Tell us some of your, I want to hear favorite, but I think impactful is different than favorite.
Okay.
Like you can recommend book to the beginner, but there's a book out there that's impacted your life differently. Tell me kind of like the differences in that.
I think that impactful and application is so important because there's so much in philosophy and you can talk about it all you want, but if someone can't grasp it, that they're able to achieve it, it doesn't matter. And so the book for me, and it's the first book even before GoPro that I recommend for anybody, is The Compound Effect.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that book. Wes, I love that book.
Because it can take someone who doesn't understand business, which I didn't, and it can break down the biggest things in the world in small terms to where you go, wow, okay. And that's exactly how network marketing works. It really is. And so to me, that is the most important book that I can give to someone, because if they read that, then they can go, okay, then those big goals are achievable by doing small things every single day.
Oh my gosh, I love that book. Small things every day. That's a really impactful book. So you got The Compound Effect, GoPro. What else you got?
Oh man, I
tell me a book that you don't go out and recommend, but that you keep. You know what I'm saying? One of the ones that you're not like all over telling everybody what to get, but you know what I mean.
Let me think. I'd have to think about that one. You put me on the spot.
I did. I every time I try and get one person to put on the spot and be like, yikes.
I was like all ready I had my 2 books and props ready, and you just knocked me in the nose.
Punched him in the neck.
Punched me in the neck.
Stop.
You know what? I will. I recommend it though. Is Go for No is fantastic. I mean, that's a mind changer, and I actually go back. It won't be a book. I go back and I look at the Ray Higdon, Eric Worre 2 YouTube videos, and they're each 10 minutes, and it's Ray talking about going for no, and it really, anytime I need motivation or I need to know something, I go and watch it over and over and over. Because it hits me in the neck every single time, right? Because he was in a bad spot. He wasn't Mr. Awesome. He just realized that he just had to put the work in and get over the pride of hearing no and this and that and the other. So that's something I'm trying. As I'm talking about this, I'm trying to think of the book too.
I'll watch it.
I've read a lot.
Sweat it out. It's like you under the lights of interrogation. Oh, that's funny. I'm sorry, Wes. Kind of like an inside joke right now, like keeping Wes on the screen. You guys gotta love TTO. We can totally message them. Completely
getting staticky. I can't hear you.
All right, I'll take some of the heat off right now. I totally have that joking relationship where we have this dry humor. Kind of a side note, I kind of called Wes today, and he has a funny message on his phone. I love our relationships in TTO. I was like, say it nicely. What was your message, Wes? Oh, dude, I couldn't even say it with the show. I was trying at my utmost to say it with sarcasm, but not laugh.
It says, kindly, if you'll kindly leave a message, I'll get back to you. And you were like, yo. I ain't kindly leaving no message or something. Like, it was awesome. And I was like, that's Coco. That's awesome. Kindly leaving you a message.
That's what I told him. I was like, I kindly leaving you a message. Call me back.
Exactly.
I hear him on my message go. Say something about kindly leaving me a message. I was cracking up. I'm like, oh, geez. But that's the kind of relationships that we have at TTO. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. So I was just making Wes kind of sweat that one out. But you know, you guys, we all kind of have our favorite books and what we read, and kind of the ones that we, you know, for personal development. It is really, really important to get your hands on books like Go for No, The Compound Effect, Eric Worre, GoPro, How to Win Friends and Influence People, all the ones that you see that are out there that people recommend. But what's more important is that you put that stuff into action. You could read thousands of books. I don't care who you are. You know, I have some Audible app. I try and get books like, man, I don't think my kids have listened to a song in a long time. I'm all up on the radio. It has music playing from the background of CDs and you know, prospecting stuff, and how to always kind of learn in the background until I go to sleep at night is when I put my music on. But while I'm doing that and I'm reading something, I always have a journal next to me, and I write down the things that I must do, and because I've learned from that book. And then I ask I'm kind of hard on myself, so I go back and I say to myself after I read that book, did you read this book for nothing? Are you going to actually take some of the actions that you wrote down? Like, I leave myself a little message in my journal because I don't care. You guys can think I'm as weird as you want me to think or whatever. It's going to help you out if you listen to me. But I write down, did you do anything about what you read? Because if you didn't, you just wasted your time reading 3 hours of a book. Great job, Coco. Like, that's what I have at the end of my thing. Good. These are the actions that you've learned to take from this book. Please instill these actions, because if you don't, then you just spent 3 hours of your life reading for nothing. And I don't have 3 hours to be wasting. My life is crazy. I'm waking up. I have mapped out the time that I get up and do everything, from how much time I'm spending on laundry to how much time I'm spending on cooking. All of that stuff is mapped out. How much time I'm spending on personal development and what's in my ear. You guys, if you make it a point to write that stuff down, I have to do this. Like when we do the training, those sign up the 9 videos in the back office or the marketing system of Team Takeover. How many people I ask, did you get out a pen and paper and did you write down the things that said actually told you to write, or were you waiting for the next video to start? Because we're impatient people. There's a time to sit down and soak it all in. You know, you're not actually learning if you're checking your Facebook and you're going over here and you're doing this and you think you're multitasking, but when it's time to sit down and stay focused, you got to sit and stay. You have to. Like, you know, if you're working on something, you got to sit down and stay. Stay sat down and do it, because nothing ever gets done. Nothing. Right on, Wes?
Absolutely. And I'm the same way. If I don't write it down, it doesn't happen. Whether it's my to-do list, my goals, and even when I try to, even with the best intention, and I'm the same way. Why am I going to read if I'm not going to take something from it? And you know, it's like, what is the point? Why am I going to this presentation? Why am I going to go? Like, so if I go to see CJ Eden speak in Houston, I'm not leaving without something that I took as a note that I can either shoot a video on, a new approach I can talk to somebody about, a testimonial I can use. I'm not leaving unless I have something written down. So it drives me crazy when I see people up there not taking notes, or not saying, or going, well, I've already heard this. No, you haven't. Or you should be up there doing it if you're that good. You know, that kind of thing. And I'm the same way with books. I'm the same way. It's like, oh, there is something in every single chapter that you read that you can imply or apply. And the worst thing you can be is a seminar junkie. And I have so many friends that are seminar junkies. And you know what? I'm glad they go for the feeling. I love the feeling at seminars. But if you're going and you're not applying anything that you learned, and you just have to do one major thing that you come out of there that's going to, you know, put you into action, just one thing, and it's worth it. It's worth it. And you got to take action. Otherwise it's all for naught.
Yep. You got to get, can people hear me? Yeah. You have to be willing to fall on your face. Like Les says, you got to be willing to fall on your face, get bloody, get dirty. It's crazy. We all have our style, so you don't have to do it the way that we say to do it. You don't have to do exactly what we say. One of the things that I have to do when I go to a site is I can't write anything down because I have horrible handwriting, so I get distracted of what I'm writing and trying to write neat, and so I literally distract myself from actual writing. I stay focused, and at break time, I go out like a nut, and while everybody else is, going to the bathroom, I'm like, let me get down all the bullet points that I want to make sure that I remember. And after that seminar, I'm going home and I'm writing stuff down. I can't write during it, but I'm writing after it. I can save stuff up here. I can hear the person, but that's my style. Find your technique. Find the style that works for you. I have to send myself stuff. I text message myself to get up off my butt. I have reminders in my phone. This is great. I can't believe it. What are you doing? I have reminders on my phone of times a day that I send myself. Like my 11 o'clock. I don't care if you're tired. Keep going. Like at 7 o'clock in the morning. If Beyonce has the same 24 hours as you, get up and do something. It happens at 11 o'clock in the afternoon. And I set them for all different times. And they're always telling me, get up and do something. Are you actually taking an action? Or we could do things but not actually be productive. You ever do that? Like you're doing things to make a moment, but you're not actually being productive. So I asked guilty.
David.
I've been calling my girlfriend Rachel like, hey Ray, what's going on today? Tell me something. And then I slap myself with a reminder. I'm like, no, Ray, we got to talk later. It's not your time now. I have time management set up to where, sorry, Ray, I love you, but I have time management literally in my life that I have set aside to shoot the you-know-what with Rachel. Because I have to stay productive. This is important to me. It should be important to you guys too. The personal development, all of this stuff. At the end of my videos, I ask people to do things. I want to ask you guys, Wes has taught me a lot of stuff in the time that we've been here. I'm not saying I'm done with him. I'm just saying I'm not done with you now, Wes. Getting back in the hot seat. But I want you guys right now to be thinking, Wes has taught you some things. I've said some things that I can do. Inside here, we have a bunch of people in this chat that should never destroy you for your dreams, your hopes. I had a bad phone call today. That's another story. But they should all be supporting you. We should all be tagging each other. We should all be family, your friends, the people that got your back, right? We should all be saying and chatting it up and becoming friends with each other. You know what I'm saying? If you're in here, what are you going to decide to take in action? I ask people I have a thing with commitment. I ask you, are you going to do this for 30 days? Because I won't quit. I stay committed to stuff. Are you going to blog for 30? I ask people to give me their time. Quality time is, they have the 5 love languages. I'm one of those quality time. Give me your time. Come on, let's do this together. 30 days. Are you going to give 30 days or something? Are you going to take an action? You have to write down in the chat, talk to each other. What can you all do that Hanging with TTO has provided you? Go hashtag Hanging with TTO. Go hashtag something. Become one. Here's something that I learned in construction. We would always say, these guys and I would always say we were a boulder. You're going to have pebbles everywhere. We would talk about people's construction teams as pebbles. Pebble here, pebble, because they're all separated. They never actually became one and joined each other. They were pebbles. So people would get fired and people would leave and people would go do this. And because you can pick up a pebble and wing it. They were never actually together. You could pick up a pebble and throw it. They were nothing. They were just tiny little pebbles sitting there. But the team that I wanted, the team that I raised, because that was my position, is I would make them join and I would tell them we were one big boulder. Go ahead and try and pick us off. You can't pick us up and throw a boulder. You can go pick up the little tiny pebbles around who have all separated and talking crap and doing this and doing that. They all destroy each other and become these little tiny pebbles when they could have became one massive boulder and made a statement. They stick, they stay, they become one. That's what we call in construction. They became a boulder. That was our saying. We are the boulder of this. You can join us and become sticky in our boulder. Add your pebble. We only get stronger. Or you can go out here and you'll watch those people inside. When you start building a building and build it from the ground up, you'll watch people fly off like crazy. 30 days in, 60. We knew it because we had been through it for years and years and years and years. I've learned that in network marketing, the same thing applies. The people that don't come inside the boulder, the people that you may have a choice. Nobody is alone in TTO. You choose to be alone. You have everybody. You have Wes. Dude, I tease him, but he's a cool dude. He is cool. As much as I tell him he's not. No, he's a cool dude. He would help you guys with anything. Leave him a nice, kind message if he wants one, or don't. But he would help you out. Get to the boulder of people. When you're out and you're a little tiny pebble alone, you feel vulnerable, and somebody will come and kick you away and take you somewhere else. That's what they do. That's what happens. That's what happens in construction. It's what happens in network marketing. It's what happens everywhere. That's why people don't stay. That's why they never really got to the boulder. They never decided to take their self and stick it with all the strong people, that boulder of people. You guys catching my drift here? Wes, you with me?
That's awesome. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So don't be that standalone. Say what you're gonna do. Find the people that back you. Have somebody that has your back. When you start to join forces, you just become bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. You guys should all be that hang with TTO people, these kind of people, and start joining forces. You're just a pebble alone, and you're sitting there waiting for your 150 comments, and you're getting here, and you're getting you're feeling discouraged. Of course you do. You feel like you're standing alone. Everybody feels discouraged when they feel like they're standing alone. And then people wonder why somebody on their team gets picked off, and somebody went over here, and somebody went over there, and somebody went over there. You're standing alone. Don't stand alone. You have a choice. You have a choice right now. I'm asking you to make one. Make a choice. Ask for help if you need it. Join together. You have how many people up on this hangout right now that you could join with? You can say, we're going to take something from this hangout right now, and we're going to take action. Instead of listening today, we're going to take action. We can listen to all the hangouts we want. But make a commitment to take action and do something. Wes would never be sitting here today. I tell you right now, he would never be sitting here today doing a hangout in front of us if he stayed in that corporate world, if nobody talked to him, if he stayed and didn't take action in his first company, his second company, getting to talk on stage, getting to do great big things in network marketing. We should all, inside of us, want to take a little piece of Wes with us. We should all want to have a little bit of what he has. Somebody asked him, do you want to have what I have, Wes? That stuck with me. Do you want to have what I have? Do you want to have something that Wes has? Then you got to go do what Wes does. Right on, Wes?
Absolutely. And it's interesting, because no matter how strong you are, that pebble, that's so awesome, because I've always been kind of a loner. I've always been that way. Ran away when I was 17, been on my own, blah, blah, blah. And it's hard for me. So the initial, I loved the TTO because I loved the support. I loved the system. All right. And I knew how valuable that was because I had been on my own, but I was still a loner. And it took me a little while to dive in. And once I did, I was like, gosh, you're such a dummy. It is so much. You're absolutely right. You're so much stronger, because you know what? The reality is outside of the TTO walls, people are going to try and knock you down all the time. And if you're not surrounding yourself with being around Cocos and Sandys and JoJo's, and if you're not putting yourself together, it's easier to get chipped away. So we have that support, guys. Use it. It's not, if you call it corny, call it whatever you want. Use it. It's so your business and your life will thank you for it. As a loner, I promise you, you're stronger and you'll do better and you'll grow faster the more that you become more one as the boulder. It's absolutely true.
Absolutely. Quick kind of story for you guys. Introverted and being a loner and joining a team. I've had other jobs. I was always in the construction thing has stuck with me. I was always a team with people, but introvert is just a few months ago, I was out with a girlfriend, Rachel. Her boyfriend called me an extreme introvert. You guys wouldn't know that about me, right? I sit in the corner somewhere. I drink my beer in the corner of the bar. I don't really, that's me. I like the loner. I like to take things and write stuff down and write in my journal and get it all out. I burn stuff that I write, and always inside of my own head. But I know that if you want, I've done construction. Man, my dad had me working from the time I was 12 years old every summer. Every summer. I've been in construction since then. I've ran teams, crews of big men from the time I was 14, 16, 80 men. A lot of people. It comes with experience. One of the things that I know is introverted and being alone. That's cool. That's a personality type. I get it. I do it too. But if you want to build something, big, I know it's building. You gotta get together. You gotta become one. You gotta become a team. You have to know that the person beside you has your back. If you're going to swing your hammer, you ain't swinging it toward a live wire. Everybody here is there to protect you and that they have your back. Personality traits, types, not want to ask for things. Dig down. We talk about having your why. We talk about having your vision. We talk about taking action. If you want, I can promise you this. If you want to build something big, then you got to get together and band with your team and become one. Lone pebble can't build the same building as one big boulder of team of people who stand tall. Everybody's separated. It's just like baseball. You can have 9 players on the field, and if you aren't working as a team, you ain't got crap. You don't have anything. You'll never win a game, ever. Somebody's got to pull it together. I talk sports, shortstop. I was always screaming at that team. You do this. You do that. You go here. You do this. The ball goes here. You do this. We came together as one team. We're one team. You have to remember that. We are one team. You have got to stick together. You go and try and do something alone. The moment somebody doesn't stick together with the team, the whole thing falls apart. That's it. It's over. You'll get picked off. You'll get drafted to another team. I can't state that enough. No matter what personality type you are, if you want to build something, you got to get out of it. I was definitely a different person on the softball field. I'm definitely a different person on the job site. I'm definitely a different person here because I'll give you guys everything I got every single day. Every single day. You guys should want to do the exact same thing. Band with your team. Fight for it. If you want something, fight like hell for it. Fight, come out of your comfort zone. We do it in our 30-day video challenge. We do it in 30-day blog challenges. Wes has done it. You guys can do it too. If you want to see yourself go to the top, do these things. Expand your network. Get in front of videos. Get in front of personal development. But most of all is take action. Fall on your face. Fall on your face. That's what I got from it today. Anybody, you guys can add a comment if you want. Wes, you want to add something? I kept on going on. Sometimes I get all fired. Wes is over here drinking his Nevo. Dude, I run like 5 miles because I got to get all the energy out of me. That's like my 5-mile run.
I love it. No, you rock, Coco, and I appreciate you having me on here. It's fun and just the unity that we have, and that is the biggest takeaway. This doesn't have, the thing is this isn't rocket science. It really is get into action and fall on your face, and then get up and do it again, and you will get better. And it's, to me, the way I look at personal development is that it is the tool that allows you to become an overnight success. Because as you're falling on your face, it hurts. We're human. It's okay. You're gonna fall down. It's hard to see 2 years down the road and that compound effect. It's very hard to see that. So you have to do the development by being on these webinars or the Hangouts, by reading books daily, because that's going to keep you in the game long enough where you continue to do the action, you can have that big success.
Yep. How long can you, I think of it people are talking to me about video or Instagram. I was like, I'm just willing to fall on my face more than the average person. I keep falling on my face and falling on my face and falling on my face and falling out of chairs, falling on my face, whatever it takes. But it's really, this is a great hangout. I hope you guys get all of your team members, get people that you know inside of TTO to get on here. We want a bunch of action takers on this team. We want people to take action. And we want to support each other. No matter what you do, you've all taken the same road to be an entrepreneur. You're all looking for better things. You all want that same life that Wes was talking about at the beginning of this video, right? We all have a common bond, no matter what. We all have a commonality. Don't ever shoot down your brother or your sister that's on here.
Mm-hmm.
You guys should all be picking each other up. You guys should all be supporting each other's video. You guys should try and get on anything that you can and show your love, no matter what, for each other. That's what makes a good team. That's what makes a big, strong boulder. That's how people build buildings. That's what I know. I know that for a fact. And it's got to be the same thing in network marketing because Wes told you so. Right on. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Wes, you're awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I'll put you in the spotlight and, bother you more after the hangout. We'll chat with you guys later. Thank you so much, Wes. Thanks.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks, Coco.